Good morning, believers. This is Minister Jay from the Vineyard. And I wanted to talk to you today from the subject Silence is Sound. You see, there are times in life where people are going to debate you or combat you when it comes to things that you say, even and especially when you talk about matters of faith, or as some people like to put it, religion. There are others who simply will not hear your words. Your words just fall on deaf ears. And then there's other times where people will simply not want to hear what you have to say because of the fact that they're just not trying to hear it. They feel like you're Bible bashing and or Bible thumping, as some people put it, or just trying to hit them with a bunch of old religious rhetoric and nonsense. But just because words can't tell the story, does not mean that you still can't get your point across. For those of you who feel the need to debate the word, remember that it is not our job to convince anybody, but it's simply our job to convey in love what the word says, in hopes that someone might receive it and thereby be changed. Isaiah 53 and 7 tells, it's a small passage, but it tells how Jesus, when he stood before his accusers, never said a word. He simply stood there. He didn't say a thing, and therein is a wonderful revelation that in his stance, in not saying anything at all, he was really saying more than what you recognize. You see, his accusers were I guess you could say, I would imagine they were yelling at him. Are you the Christ? Are you the Messiah? Are you the King of the Jews? And Jesus, understanding that there was nothing his words could say that was going to convince them of anything, simply let action show who he is. And that's where the revelation comes in. Sometimes we have to let our walk indicate what we're saying. Sometimes we have to let our walk say what we can't say, or what people won't hear with their ears or receive with their heart. But sometimes it takes them to actually see it. Some people learn better by seeing than they do by hearing. And I know. In this society today, a lot of people would take the standpoint that to be silent when somebody accuses you or when somebody chastises or berates you is a position of weakness. But no, no, no. It's actually a position of strength when you take the correct action. Remember, the Bible teaches that faith without works is dead. So you could have faith in everything that you're saying, but until you put action behind it, even the action of standing still, being quiet, and just allowing God to handle the business, to do the work, to be who he is, and you just standing resolute on your faith and declaring to yourself, I shall not be moved. Well, that's a position of strength right there. It's a position of power. Believers understand sometimes words can't say what you need to say. Sometimes the action of you walking out your life, believing and trusting in God and exuding that and showing that, displaying the fruit of the Spirit, sometimes that's what needs to be done. To simply try to explain away everything and vocalize it with your mouth, sometimes it's just not going to work. But there's no worries, because whenever you take the stance of being resolute in your faith, and you walk the talk, and you talk the walk, then at the end of the day, when your words can't tell the tale, your actions will show it. And God will bear witness to who you are. When you make yourself humble, He'll exalt you in your humility. When you make yourself of no particular reputation, He will push you forward and give you notoriety with your peers, with your people, with other people, just simply because of the fact that you are being just like His Son. Humble, steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. God loves a faithful heart and a humble spirit. And sometimes in being that faith-filled heart and that humble spirit, you have to recognize and realize that silence is sound. This is Minister J from the Vineyard saying God bless. Silence is sound. Try it for yourself and see how it works.
Stop.